Oh man. Oh, some of the criticism for Golovkin is so laughable. And I'm coming to realize that most of the criticism, obviously, like any one of yous with half a brain, will notice that these are usually fans of certain fighters, like a Deontay Wilder, who was put in a similar situation like this. Let's play the whole Povetkin failed, right? Because I don't have time to go into details about the whole situation, but let's just say, let's play their card for the sake of this argument here. Povetkin failed a test 2 years ago. The cancellation of a fight that was supposed to take place in May for Wilder in Russia. Fight was postponed, pushed back 2 months later, and the best opponent they could come up with for Wilder, a replacement opponent, was Chris Arreola. Right? Now Golovkin is being asked by these same fans to fight Andrade, Charlo, or even a Derevianchenko. I doubt they even going for Derevianchenko to get in the mix. In the mix, they probably will have a complaint about that if it was to happen. See the problem there? Right off the bat, they contradict themselves, but they don't care because this is all about seeing Golovkin fail. And that's okay as a boxing fan, right? We're not going to like every fighter. There are certain fighters I don't like. I want to see them lose. But I want to be realistic about things. I don't want to come off as delusional or too biased. Right? So in other words, if Wilder was in the same situation, the same as Golovkin, and was asked to fulfill a date on the same date, I wouldn't expect him to fight the biggest threat next, knowing he's been preparing for, let's say, Anthony Joshua for a certain date, and Joshua failed the test. Right? So this is not valid criticism. This is from a fan base that want to see Golovkin lose. They want to see him lose. They can sit there and say all they want. I'm not biased, and they can say it till their fucking face turns blue. All you gotta hear is what they are expecting for Golovkin will tell you that no matter what they say, they want to see him lose. And that is fine as a boxing fan. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't like Deontay Wilder. I want to see him get knocked the fuck out. Legitimately. I don't want there to be bullshit. I want to see him legit get knocked out. Regardless of how I feel about it. And if he keeps winning, I'll keep watching. Right? I'll keep watching. Just like these haters do. They watch Golovkin's fight. Regardless of what they say. Whether they boycott the De La Hoya Canelo fight, they watch. They probably don't pay for it, but then again, they don't pay for their favorite fighters more than likely anyway. That's neither here or there. So these are not expectations from fans that want to see Golovkin in a really good fight where he has a chance to lose. They want to see him at a disadvantage, more likely. And they don't really want to see Charlo, one of their favorite fighters, or Andrade, maybe they like him, you know. I doubt they like Derevianchenko, but let's say they do. They really don't want to see them in a situation when they're preparing for a man in 3 weeks' notice with a certain pay offer that might make them uncomfortable. So they accept it, not feeling comfortable, when the best thing for them to do, more than likely, would be to decline and see if they could get a fight down the road with him. see how the whole thing plays out. See, these fighters are in a tough situation, right? You take the fight, or you risk the chance that Golovkin doesn't fight until September and take the Canelo fight for a whole lot of money, and why would you blame him? Wilder fanboys don't think, whether it's legit or not, I have no idea, because this is becoming a circus on a different note. The whole AJ and Wilder situation, whatever the real money is being offered to him, supposedly it's much bigger than his career high payday. Right? They don't want him to take that offer, whatever that is, from the way I understand it. But you want Golovkin to fight, let me see, who you guys consider the biggest threats to Golovkin for career high paydays where maybe he has to come out of his own pocket. But you're not biased, right? You're not a biased boxing fan. Oh my God. Look, man. Golovkin didn't get into this situation by accident. He worked hard. He surrounded himself with smart people, whether you like it or not. He's a legendary fighter, whether you like it or not. When you make all those successful title defenses in a row, and you, at any era, you've got 3 of the 4 belts. Not too long ago, maybe 20 years ago, that would have been enough to be considered undisputed. You're a legendary fighter. Legendary fighters are going to do what's best for them, especially at the pinnacle of their careers, where he looks to make the most money. He was ducked for many years of opportunities of making big money fights, and now he's in a situation where he could demand a certain type of money and people want to get in the ring with him. So props to him, and never mind your feelings, right? Sort of like what's going on with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, right? Even if Deontay Wilder puts himself in the A-side situation of that particular dilemma, you would have to respect it if the momentum shift. It is what it is. That's boxing. That's boxing politics that most of you fanboys subscribe to. It's part of the business. So I expect Golovkin to look out for himself and do what's best for him. After all, he's earned it. There's a reason why he has 3 of those belts. He put himself in that situation. Some of those guys handed it over to him because they didn't want to fight him. Now they want to fight him because he's worth a lot more money. So that's part of the business. And they want to fight him under their rules. So those are not call-outs. The champion calls the shots. If you want this opportunity, that's the way boxing goes. So if you're fine with Wilder fighting Arreola 2 years ago under similar situations, right? I'm not going to get into that whole Povetkin situation. I'm just, for the sake of this argument, going to use the mainstream narrative that Povetkin failed. Same situation, pushed it back 2 weeks, 2 months from the prior date, and the best opponent he can come up with is Chris Arreola. If you subscribe to that, you should not be pitching about whoever Golovkin's going to fight. Because if you do, you're beyond a fanboy.